Vasily Malios. Off we go in Stores. The six-time national champions begin their quest for a potential 7th title. Demery Jr. finds ball, knifes to the basket, switches hands, Stewart to the rescue. Jalen Stewart, Jr. from Seattle, Washington. This is Pasha on the wing, off the mark. Chased down by Demery Jr. His hometown is Raleigh, making Stores his home after a handful of seasons with the Georgia Bulldogs. Looks to take on that Tristan Newton role this year. Ryba stuck in mud, flips it up and in. 2 paint buckets for UConn early.
Well, Ryba knows how to carve out space. He's got the big body. Sometimes the young players don't know how to get their position down low. He certainly has good skill, but there he showed he understands where his positioning is needed, right near the basket.
Number 4 preseason rank for UConn. Ken Pom ranks their offense number 2 in the nation, only behind Purdue entering the year. Pull-up jumper, New Haven is on the board thanks to Adelier. He's in his 5th year of college ball from Arlington, Texas, coming over from UT Permian Basin.
Certainly not an easy task for head coach, just understanding that they're going to Division I back in the spring, but retooled the roster. They're going to be energetic. His teams always play tough man-to-man defense.
Demery Jr. on the attack, and he is fouled, will earn 2 at the line. Dan Hurley, 8th season at UConn, is 16th overall as a head coach, 2-time national champion, as we know, a Naismith Coach of the Year. And he is super excited about this group. There's a different energy, and he wants to see his team, Tim Welsh, with a certain level of assertiveness in this first week of the season.
Well, they're going to assert themselves. Dan Hurley's team, that his teams have always had. I think this year they will do that, especially with the addition of Demery Jr., who is a great defensive.
Pure at the free throw line to make it 6-2 Huskies. Demery Jr., 56 steals in 33 games last year for Georgia. Turnover nearly caused by UConn. Shot clock down to 15 on the dribble drive. It's Fitzpatrick. He is denied at the rim. And the Caravan is not happy with that. That's a foul on the big.
Well, New Haven, good job early in this game of just running their offense, getting their offense started. That's the hardest thing to do against this UConn team, the first 2 passes. Once you make the first 2 passes, then they're going to get aggressive. And if you reverse the floor and have the ball space, you will have that ability, if you're strong with the basketball, to dribble, drive, and get to the rim. That time, that's what Fitzpatrick did.
Coach Hotaling has led New Haven to 5 NCAA Division II tournament appearances. That's half of the school's Division II tournament runs, and he was well aware of what he signed up for in terms of this accelerated process to go Division I. The announcement made on May 1st, had to tinker the roster, hit the portal, found some JUCO-willing transfers, and some through Division I. He is the right man for the job, a heck of a coach. 2 minutes gone by, and the Huskies lead at 6-3. Jalen Stewart, spin move, lay it up and in.
Well, Stewart certainly has that ability down low at 6'7", that time guarded by Briggs, only at 6'3", took advantage of the size.
Jalen Stewart, 4 of UConn's 8. In the triple threat, Jabri Fitzpatrick draws a blocking foul. This effort by Stewart, this is the growth that the staff is excited about.
They're going to use Stewart in a lot of different ways. Number one, he's a good offensive player from that wing area, but you see just the ability to post up down low and put shooters around the forwards that can post up for UConn. They're very dangerous. They're not going to just settle for threes. They'll take the threes, but they'll also look to play the old-fashioned in the paint game as well.
Pasha kicks it out. Adelier lost it. UConn stays stable defensively. Deep triple try. Pasha no good. NBA concepts, the John Beilein style of offense, versatility in guards, spacing and skill. That's what Coach Hotaling preaches to his New Haven Chargers. Student section engaged here in Stores as the shot clock dwindles to 10 for Malachi Smith, the Dayton transfer. Mid-air flip, Ryba, throw it down.
That's where UConn is at its best. They use that middle ball screen, but they also have movement on both sides of the floor to take away the help. It's basically a 2-on-2 game right in the middle. Good job by Smith finding Ryba at the rim.
8 of UConn's 10 points in the paint. Pasha, beautiful footwork. That was nice.
Pasha's listed at 6'9". He's got some size down low. Looks to have good skill and footwork that time. The good up and under.
Pasha helped Mohawk Valley Community College win its first ever JUCO national title. Looking to make his mark in New Haven. Just 1 hour from Storrs. Dan Hurley acknowledged yesterday at his media availability, excited to have another Division I presence in the state of Connecticut. Shot clock is winding down, and it's a violation. It's opening day for everybody, right?
That's what happens when you don't reset it.
So it remains New Haven basketball. Chargers went 12-17 last year in their final campaign of NE10 play. It's down to 8 to shoot for Najimi George. Nowhere to go. Superb defense by Ross. Karoma giving him no room to breathe. That's a shot clock violation. One of the newcomers, Dwayne Karoma from Lemoyne.
Well, they never got the ball inside the three-point line, and they kind of just waited. Obviously, shot clock was at 14, but you've got to move the ball from side to side. You just can't just enter the ball right to the wing. They're not going to allow that. You've got to have some movement away from the ball first.
Ball was available on the baseline, but the pass picked off by the New Haven Chargers. Their home is the Hazel Center in West Haven, Connecticut. Division I debut tonight. Fitzpatrick thought about the fadeaway. Instead, it's George. Way strong, and Caravan chases down the board. Solo ball orchestrates the offense, calls for a Karoma screen. Caravan on the flare, back to ball. Two-man game. Ross, feed it. Caravan. And the bodies come together on the Chargers side to stuff out that play. Here's Fitzpatrick, lays it in.
Nice job. That's what you have to do. You can't force the entry to the wing. If they're pressuring up on you at the top, you've got to put your head down if you've got some space and get the ball to the rim.
Malachi Smith, the dash. UConn was solid from the floor in the early part of the game. 4 of their first 5. It's a 10-7 contest. Chest pass in the paint. Hook shot. Tristan Berth can't get it to drop. Smith on the break. Step through by Malachi Smith. He will go to the line.
Well, Fitzpatrick is showing that he can dribble drive out the top, and they sent that little rub screen, and he just really comes over, and the ability to change direction and change hands at the rim. Strong.
Smith in his redshirt senior season, 86 career games at Dayton, 77 starts. He acknowledged that practices have been very competitive here in Connecticut, intense, passionate, but he likes that because it's going to only build that point guard room with himself, Demery Jr., Alec Malinder, who will see time off the bench as well.
Hopefully that wasn't a surprise to Malachi. I don't think it was. Anybody that's been alive the last 4 or 5 years following UConn understands. We've been at practices at the end of June here. It's 95 degrees out, and they are going at it like they're getting ready for the Final Four. So there's no let up here.
Pick up full court. Briggs got a step, assertive to the cup. Kenai Briggs, the UAlbany transfer, makes it 11-9.
Well, that's a good job by New Haven. They're being aggressive against the pressure. UConn's picking up full court. They're not gambling, but they're staying home on the wings. They're not helping much, and they're really overplaying. So you've got to just put your head down and go to score. You can't be tentative against this press.
Silas Demery Jr. finds Ross, 3 in the air. For UConn, it has not attempted many threes. They knocked down 8.5 per game last year. Most of their looks have been in the paint.
Try to attack and use the size advantage that they have. We had a Brendan earlier against Boston College in the exhibition game, and they really did attempt a lot of threes, but that's not what they want to do. They want to have a good balance to their offense, starting with going to the rim.
Smith fumbles it momentarily. They whip it along the perimeter. It's Caravan for three.
Now that's balance in itself. They're going to dribble drive into the gap. They're going to reverse the ball. They're going to space the court. They're going to go from side to side and find the open man.
14-9, 7 minutes gone by. Karoma gets the hands in. Berth hangs onto the rock. Nowhere to go. Karoma. Dan Hurley says he's been super impressive in camp. They love his 14. New Haven 9. The Chargers making their Division I debut. Losowitz finds his man in the corner. Steele couldn't cash in. Demery Jr. pushes pace for the Huskies. Calls for Caravan. He hit a three a moment ago to extend the lead, but these Chargers, well coached under 10 Hotaling. 16th season at New Haven. High post entry. Caravan almost had it stripped. The cutter is Stewart. Touch pass inside. Karoma is fouled.
New Haven's doing a pretty good job of just keeping their man in front of them. They're not overextending. They're not gambling. They understand they can get beat off the dribble if they pressure too much. They're in a good shell principle, but the size of UConn's trying to take advantage of that by spacing the floor and then going inside to their bigs. That time making the extra pass inside to Karoma.
Coming off a breakout season at Lemoyne. 11.5 points per game, 7 rebounds. He shot 71% from the floor, efficient when he gets his touches.
He's also very skilled for his size. He's a good passer, which fits very well into Dan Hurley's system because their forwards all have the ability to go inside and then out. Huskies, an unbelievable list of unbelievable players that have accomplished pretty much more than anyone in college basketball over the last 25 years, without a doubt. And they call us the basketball capital of the world, and between the men and the women, I don't think many can argue.
How about 3 more? UConn has drilled 1 3 in this one. 9, now 10 shot attempts in the game. Huskies have been to the free throw line 6 times. What's impressed you most about New Haven, how they've guarded UConn in the half court?
They've guarded them tough, but I'm also impressed that they haven't turned it over. They've been able to get into their offense. Obviously, it's not been perfect. They only have 9 points in the first 8.5 minutes, but they're getting decent looks. Not great, but they're not turning it over. The key against UConn, especially this type of athleticism versus what you're dealing with, is not turning it over and letting them get out transition.
Karoma an offensive rebound. Each team with just 2 turnovers, and that's part of the offense Coach Hotaling runs. Low turnover, high steal rate. Stewart off the mark. It goes halfway down and out.
And they're doing a really good job as well, New Haven, of just defensive positioning. They're contesting the shots, making Connecticut take tough twos, and not letting them have too many second chance opportunities.
3-minute scoring drought for New Haven. 9 minutes into this first half. Just a 6-point game. Aiden Losowitz, the freshman from Douglas, Massachusetts. He finds Traore. Bounce pass inside. It's picked off by Demery Jr. Tries to get on a flow with his new teammates. Demery Jr. spray it. Extra. It's Stewart, a 3.
That's good ball move by UConn and a pretty good look from the perimeter, and just couldn't knock it home.
And UConn is now 1 of its last 9 from the floor. Looks like a hockey line change at the scores table, and a steal. It's Ross flying inside.
2 points a game a year ago, so he's much improved offensively as well. He's a guy that will score. They don't need him to score, but he's going to make his mark on defense, but he's certainly a capable offensive player as well.
Adelier, the 5th year, handles the rock for New Haven. Midway point of this first half. College basketball opening day, and number 4 UConn leads by 8. Fitzpatrick in the triple threat drives the alley. Huskies may have gotten a piece. It was Ross again on the defensive end.
Good help on the weak side. He showed himself, extended at the rim.
Melinder and Ball in the backcourt. Ross, Stewart, and Ryba round out the 5. Ball three-pointer. Way short, crashing the glass is Ross. And it leads to a hell ball. Possession to New Haven. Ross exits, Malachi Smith checks in. Nice ovation from the Huskies faithful. Dan Hurley has said numerous times in camp, you mentioned June, since they've been back to work for the quest of another championship, they have to defend, and he's testing his guys right away, picking up three-quarters court.
And I think Dan learned a lot, obviously, last year without putting the pressure on himself and the team and the program. You know, winning the national championship will come, and getting there and having yourself that ability to compete for it will come at the end of the year if you're ready. And he had them ready at the end of the year. No one played Florida pretty much as tough as UConn did in the NCAA tournament. And their forwards matched Florida's front line, which was the best maybe in college basketball at the end of the year, and they proved it by winning the championship. But their guard play defensively never clicked to what Dan wanted and needed and what he knew could take him to the top.
And they do have a date for revenge on December 9th in the Jimmy V Classic at MSG, Florida and UConn. Pasha hit the layup after a nifty move to make it 17-11. Take a look at some other notable non-conference games for the Connecticut Huskies. TD Garden in Boston. A.J. DeBonza, who will make his college basketball debut later tonight against Big East rival Villanova. You've got Arizona on the 19th, Illinois this month, December 2nd with Kansas. It doesn't look very easy.
Well, as our friend Coach Vitale would say, he will not be able to say that Dan is playing Cupcake City, because there's nothing about that. He is playing the iron, and you know, he understands that's what's going to make his team good, and that's what players want. And that's part of it too. In today's world with the portal, you want to sell to your players. We're going to play the best of the best all season long. We're going to be on national television. We're going to play in the big arenas around the country, and we're not be afraid to challenge anyone.
No, those aren't cupcakes. Those are wedding cakes.
There's no doubt about it, and I think they're going to be ready for it, and certainly that will prepare them for the rugged Big East.
Pasha unable to drill it. Filippa has checked in, the 6'9" big from Italy, 5 in blue as Ball drives it. Huskies have hummed the ball on the perimeter. Paint touches have been their friend, though, early in the game. Tough take, Stewart. Rising high to bank it in.
And that's what we talked about. Stewart and Ross both really improved offensively. Stewart, good job taking his time in the lane, creating space and a great angle at the rim.
Connecticut with 12 paint points of their total of 19 with 8 to go in the first half. Filippa, the 6'9" junior, stand-up defense by Stewart. And boarded by Ball.
Good job building a wall inside by Stewart, not fouling, contesting.
Melinder, splash. That's beautiful transition.
It is, and Dan Hurley raises his hands in joy as they finally hit a shot from the perimeter.
UConn is doubling New Haven. Beautiful pass inside. Adelier can't hit. Wrestles it back, but Ryba, rambunctious. Pasha with still plenty of time. Flips it up and drills it. He's got some touch, the big man.
Yeah, good job by Pasha. He's got nice post moves down low and a little soft touch on the fadeaway. We've seen him at the rim. He's going right at Ryba.
Reward the defense. Melinder, opposite corner this time.
Good job by New Haven. They're digging that ball out from Ryba down on the post. They doubled, and even a soft triple to pitch it back out. Rob, a good job finding the open man, Melinder.
Jalen Stewart with 6 to lead UConn. Malachi Smith in the spin cycle. And ripped down by New Haven's Adelier. Kick it, George, and a steal. Melinder, but he stepped.
Go down low and work on their post moves, work on their footwork, because all players need to be interchangeable in this offense that Dan Hurley wants to run.
Fitzpatrick dashes to the basket, scoops it home.
Well,
Jabri Fitzpatrick, nice little player from Felician, a Division II school in Rutherford, New Jersey.
He is a good player, but the offense is perfect for him because against this UConn team, they've got movement away from the ball on both sides. They space the court well, and then they have ability with Fitzpatrick to dribble drive right down the middle of the floor.
He averaged 20 points per game a year ago at Felician. Coach Hotelling said he was the first player we signed when we went Division I. He was relentless to get me. That's what Fitzpatrick said of his new head coach.
Yeah, Ted
Roma, after this layup, leads to a foul on the other end.
Ted Hotelling's got a lot of contacts. He's been around the business for a long time. Very well respected. And as you said earlier, he didn't skip a beat. When he had to go to Division I, he knew what he had to do. He knew where to go. He knew how to go recruit players. And they're only going to get better and better as the years go on.
Step through move by Caroma, the follow by Ball. Count the slam and one.
Well, we talked about it. The guards have to play on the perimeter and defend and run their offense, but the point guard has toughness as well. You better get up on the glass. Just because you're a guard doesn't mean you can't play at the rim, and that's what Solo Ball can do. He's one of the best at it.
Thank you very much, Solo Ball. Cashes in at the line, 84% free throw shooter a year ago, and UConn has pushed its lead back to double digits.
But Caroma's got to finish that play.
Yeah.
Dan Hurley wasn't happy with that. He's got to go up a lot stronger.
George, foul on Ross. That is UConn's 6th team foul. First personal on Ross. No one for the Huskies has more than one personal foul. Steele of New Haven with 2.
The other thing I like about New Haven and what they've done, and obviously they're going to be undermanned playing UConn, especially their first year Division I, but they're coming in here with a lot of toughness. I like the way they got a little spunk, at the rim. Even on that play right there, George didn't back away. He went right strong to the rim and drew the foul.
And Coach Hotelling, when asked about playing UConn to open the season, he said they're the standard bearer of the state. Gives us an insight as a program on playing at the highest level. How can you not embrace it? Take that 1-hour bus ride to take on the 2-time champions over the last 3 years, 6 overall. Demery Jr. Oh, great change of speed and pace.
Change of speed, but also very under control with that strong upper body, but the ability to finish in traffic amongst defensive players.
Silas Demery Jr., 2 buckets, 4 points, 3 rebounds. Philoppa has his feet in the mud and tracks. Caravan, he's got handle. Ball for 3. We hit the 4.5-minute mark of this first half. A sold-out crowd, 10,000 plus here at Gamble Pavilion. George on the rim run. Floats it up, no. UConn shooting 38% from the floor. Was 2 of 9 from 3. Demery Jr. almost broke the ankles of Fitzpatrick. Double team on Caravan. Here's Ball. Ross thought about the in-rhythm try. And a reach-in foul. New Haven up to 6 team fouls.
Silas
on Adelier.
Silas Demery Jr. came with all the credentials on the defensive end, but a guy can also score. There's no doubt about it. He can go find his own. He's a pretty good 3-point shooter as well. Shot 38% at Georgia, so not going to force the issue, but when he's open, he's going to make shots. But if you push up on him, he can do that. Get to the rim with that strong body.
He's got the build of a Husky Big East guard at 195 pounds. Caravan toys in the paint, and Fitzpatrick got him on the wrist. Alex Caravan to the free throw line.
He's not just a shooter. He's a very skilled player. He understands how to play on the offensive end, but also a sneaky good defender as a freshman as well.
Complete five-star freshman. He's a bucket. Averaged 33 points per game in his senior year at Greenfield Central. Tabbed the Big East preseason freshman of the year. So we wish him well in his recovery. But a lot of depth on this roster. 15 players on this UConn team compared to 12 last year. Talking to some of the folks around the program and the staff, that depth, it took some hits once the team reached that end of December, early January portion of the season. So they tinkered with their mindset to building the roster and have plenty of depth. There's a Delier for New Haven scoring a moment ago to make it a 12-point game. Smith, no look into Demery Jr. playing inside. Tough finish by Silas Demery Jr.
Oh, good job by Malachi Smith, though. Had his head up. He's a veteran presence. Really outstanding player that to have coming off the bench for UConn. Really must make the UConn staff very confident that they can go to their bench, because Malachi Smith played in a lot of big games over his career at Dayton.
Averaged 5 assists a game last year for the Flyers. Tough take off the window and in by Mason Adalier again. Demonstrating toughness despite the size advantage of Connecticut.
Well, we haven't seen New Haven yet. Obviously, it's their first game, and we don't know many of these players because they're all new. I'm telling you what, Ted's done a nice job of building this roster. They're going to be competitive in the Northeast Conference.
He acknowledged, too, by making the move from Division Division II to Division I, you can recruit bigger, taller, more athletic guys to play at this level.
Absolutely, and New Haven's always been an attractive school for not only to be a student, but as a student athlete or a basketball player as well. And that's been there a long time. As we said before, a terrific reputation in the business, but you're actually playing for him. He is an excellent coach.
They've extended their campus to Saudi Arabia. They raised north of $30 million in just 1 year to make this quick transition. Had a great conversation and dinner with athletic director Devin Crosby yesterday. Just the idea behind the move to Division I, national and global brand growth at UNH.
Devin's a smart guy in his first year as Division I AD, taking out the announcers to dinner. Always good to...
I think you were invited, by the way, just so you know. But duty calls.
It's funny, I didn't see that text or call, but sometimes I miss it.
Well, you get a lot of, right?
Absolutely. Well, no, it's good to see a team like New Haven make this jump, but go all in on it. If you're gonna go, you've got to make sure you support your coach, support your program. You just can't have the name attached, Division I or the conference. You got to make sure you want to win, and they seem to have done all the right things so far.
Ball recognized the shot clock at the very last moment, had to take that tough fadeaway. Huskies sub 40% from the floor. New Haven at 39% shooting. And by the way, it's a busy week for New Haven. They will make their home debut Friday and host Columbia. Then on Saturday, they will host Penn State. Yes, you heard that right. A Power 4 going to New Haven on Saturday at the Hazel Center. They are looking forward to that. Pasha, he's been hot and has the touch. Flips it too strong that time. He's got 6 points.
Well, Robert did a good job just holding his own on the inside. That big body just shooting over the top, building that wall, not reaching in.
We come up on a minute to go in the half. Malachi Smith on the rim drive and knocked out of bounds by Fitzpatrick. Still UConn basketball with 17 to shoot.
UConn's offense has been pretty good, but New Haven's defense is solid. They're not going to overextend. They're going to make you take tough twos. They're going to contest, and they're doing a nice job of staying inside and blocking out.
Ball, book it. Much needed for UConn. Their third three collectively.
I like what UConn does. They take the three on opportunity, and they've got a lot of guys that are capable three-point shooters.
First three for Ball. And New Haven answers. Najimy George.
George averaged 8 points a game a year ago. He only shot 31% from the three, but you can see he's got a good, strong stroke, very confident from the outside.
Back to 12. DHO. Caravan, let it fly. Oh, yeah! Now the threes are dropping in Stores.
You can't do much with that, and that time New Haven's defense was very solid, but Caravan at 6'8", he's got that quick trigger from the top and just confidence from downtown.
Shot and game clock identical. Pasha rise and deliver over Ryba. I love the poise of Andre Pasha. Down to 4 for Smith. Uses the pick. Slips into Stewart. Out of bounds off of UConn. Oh, they'll change the call. UConn basketball, .4 on the clock.
Well, Dan Hurley was going at Malachi Smith to push it and rush the ball up the court. They kind of took their time. And I think that's another one of those learning points. With 10 seconds to go, you can't just walk the ball up the court. You've got to push it up in a
line 9 times. For most of that half, New Haven did not turn it over. They picked up some late turnovers, and they'll open the second half in zone. With 10,000 plus standing, waiting for the first bucket of half number 2. Caravan at the nail, high-low, Ryba, acceptance.
Well, I'm not telling you anything new, but this team is very well coached. I'm talking about UConn, understanding that you don't beat a zone by going and just jacking up threes. You got to go inside first, and that's what they did.
The exhibitions against Boston College and Michigan State really prepped Eric Ryba for this opportunity, not to mention practicing against Terrace Reed Jr. Here's Fitzpatrick to answer with the nifty footwork.
He's got some really good footwork, but also the ability to finish. Strong body, takes his time at the rim and creates space and a good angle.
Coach O'Talling at New Haven wants Fitzpatrick to be a leader of this team. He's made some notes that he could be their best player this season in the NEC. Jalen Stewart taking in matters into his own hands, a fadeaway jumper.
Talking about taking your time, and that's what Stewart did there. We talked about his ability to score and defend, not force the issue. That time, using that size advantage.
Stefano Falopa, UT Martin transfer. Zadelier, once again in traffic. He makes it look easy.
The man off the bounce to the middle of the floor. Dan Hurley not happy, going to the bench early with Smith coming in.
Solo, rather, Demery Jr. with the response. Driving hard to the rim. Back up to 15, 43-28. Malachi Smith, to Tim's point, at the scorer's table. Zadelier with the most experience, grad student, flips it out to Falopa, way strong on the 3. Student section here in Stores, let's hear about it. Stewart with the hezzy, drives the alley. Stewart splits the defense, a fist pump. Dan Hurley calls a timeout. Mason Adelier, 5th-year grad student. In his first year at New Haven, they've revamped their roster. He's known for his two-way ability, his defense. This is excellent, excellent poise inside.
Well, solo ball, got a seat next to Coach Hurley, or in front of him, because Dan doesn't sit, because he couldn't guard Adelier. And now, Demery Jr. couldn't handle him either, so he's going to get a seat. Teaching moments.
Tough guard. He led the Falcons UT Permian Basin in steals. He can switch onto pretty much any matchup when it comes to wings. It's a 15-point game once again. Malachi Smith at the controls. UConn tries to break this zone. Stewart fires. We're going the other way.
I'm not sure Dan Hurley liked that shot by Stewart. Obviously, Stewart's pretty solid three-point shooter. Only made 24 in the season a year ago, but that was not within the context of their offense.
UConn at 47% shooting. Same for New Haven. Neither team has had success on the three. New Haven 1 for 8. Pasha, post move, fall away, jumper, swish. He's made that shot a couple of times now.
Well, that's tough to defend. Robert's doing a good job of forcing him off the block, but he takes that little step back, and when he does, he creates that space over the top to get the soft touch.
Andre Pasha into double figures. Adelier, 10 points apiece. Just a 13-point game here. Once again, they isolate Stewart. Leads to a reach-in foul. They'll get to Jimmy George.
Well, George's doing a pretty good job because Stewart didn't have solid low post position. There's no reason to reach in there. Just hold your own and slide your feet. But big size advantage, but you know, let him achieve that position that he wants. You don't have to foul.
It's George's second. Each team has one team foul in the first 4 minutes of half number 2. Malachi Smith, the Dayton transfer, bounce it, Karoma, and nabbed by New Haven. Tayshaun Steele, number 14 in blue and gold. Limited minutes in the first half.
Why not?
A couple dates at MSG for the Huskies. Illinois, November 28th. Florida, a rematch from the second round of the tournament. And I'm sure these returners like Caravan and Ball have circled. Here's Solo, lob it to Karoma. It hits the backboard. It's a 13-point game. New Haven's defense, and also the assertiveness of Mason Adelier, 22 in blue and gold. He's got 10. Pasha with 10 as well. Fitzpatrick, drive and kick, leads to a 3. It swirls in to Jimmy George.
Well, they're doing a nice job of spacing the floor. You're talking about the John Beeline offense. That's what they do. They've got run a box with their big man at the top, and then they have a lot of room to dribble drive into the gaps, and if you overhelp, they'll kick to a shooter.
John Beeline, longtime NCAA coach. He's now with the Pistons as a senior advisor. Ball, rise and fire. He is fouled in the act of shooting a 3. 7-0 New Haven run to cut this game to 10. Biggest lead for the Connecticut Huskies was 17 in the first few minutes of this second half.
Well, Brendan, one of the things that makes it difficult to defend the UConn offense, besides the good players, is that they run a lot of false motion away from the basketball. And if you turn your head at all, that time New Haven did, a flash cut in front of you, and if you're late to the party, you're going to run out on a shooter and over run out and foul a shooter at the top, because the panic when ball catches it. At that time, they weren't in good position to defend the three-point shot.
It's funny you bring up the offensive principles of Coach Hotaling at New Haven. Dan Hurley joked after practice yesterday, we want to adopt some of their concepts, the John Beeline offense, and he really likes how Coach Hotaling's team screens to open up shooting lanes and looks around the basket.
Well, coaching, you always steal from somebody else, and it's always good, and Dan's not too proud to admit that. He understands that you've always got to improve your program, and they've done that a lot. In the last couple of years, their offensive concepts have been as good as anybody in America.
That was a combo block by Ball and Stewart. Solo ball for 3, and he's fouled again from behind the line by Pasha. This double-stuffed Oreo here on the backboard.
You've got to be able to read the defense, and that time on the drive to the rim, you've got to see that the help is coming, and George didn't feel it. He felt confident. He's been able to make that drive a couple times, but that time UConn did a good job in rotation.
Ball now up to 10 points to match Stewart for a UConn high today. He's 5 of 5 at the stripe.
This is what makes Solo Ball so tough, is that he moves well without the ball. Obviously, he's a very good point guard, but away from the basketball, he can play off the ball and come quickly to the ball, and then he elevates with those long arms, and he's so strong in the upper body that if you get it anywhere near him, he can draw the foul.
He added 10 pounds in the offseason. He upped his scoring average to 14 points per game last year. That's by more than 4 times. When he was a rookie, it was just 3 points per game. Found his way into the rotation 2 years ago. Now he's a mainstay. Try and get UConn back to a championship. Shot clock down to 8. Mason Adelier and New Haven. Spins, fires, blocked by Ball. Ignites the other way. Smith on the drive. Now Caravan, the skip. Ball is humming now for UConn. Very intentional here on this end of the floor. Smith is fouled. Fitzpatrick reached in. Not bad at recovering by New Haven, considering.
UConn is up the intensity on the defensive end, really doing a nice job of sliding, contesting, recovering, helping, and then attacking off the block shot.
Fouls on Fitzpatrick. Now he's up to 4. 6-0 Connecticut run after New Haven went on a 7-0 run. Those 6 points from Solo Ball's free throws. No field goals for the Huskies in almost 4 minutes of gameplay. Ball
hanging on the backside, but making himself available by reading his defender and giving Ball a great angle for that delivery.
Dwayne Karoma, redshirt senior, drills it. His 4th year playing Division I basketball, his 5th school overall. Press break by New Haven. This is Steele, and he draws a foul. Tayshawn Steele, the freshman from Worcester, Massachusetts, played at the Darrow School. He earns a trip to the line.
Good job by New Haven and just attacking that pressure. They showed it a little bit in the first half of it. Just trying to get the ball over half court without turning it over. They're trying to attack and go to score.
There's coaching on the fly by Ted Hotelling, 16th season at New Haven. Led the school to 5 NCAA Division II tournament appearances. That's half of the school's total, and this is year 1 of the Division I transition. He loves Steele because of his versatility. Cashes in at the line. 54-37. 6.5 minutes gone by in the second half here in Storrs. College basketball opening night. Alex Caravan. Loose ball is corralled by the Chargers.
Good job by New Haven. They just closed the door quickly on Caravan. They wouldn't allow him that free lane to the rim.
Pasha. Double team comes. That outlet pass was deflected. UConn's rotation strong here defensively, and nice work by George to get Caravan in the air. That's a foul.
Ball did a good job of digging in on that high post area on Pasha, but then recovered all the way to the corner to defend and contest.
It's the second personal on Caravan and the 3rd team foul on Connecticut. Caravan subs out. Karoma is joined by Jaden Ross in the front court. Ball, Demery Jr. and Stewart also on the floor. Tough shot, Pasha. Skying in, Jalen Stewart.
Good job by Karoma, though. Got up in Pasha's face on that fadeaway.
In rhythm, 3 is short by Ball. UConn now 4 of 14 from deep. Last year, Connecticut shot 35% from 3. George, one of just 3 returners, knocks it down.
Good job by George again, just footwork, under control, finding some space, putting his head down, getting right to that middle part of the floor, and then under duress.
His mid-range.
Why not? I mean, this is what you want. This is how you go get good players in the portal. This is how you go get guys like Braylon Mullins. They want to play against the best more than a couple nights before the league starts.
One of the toughest non-conference slates in the country. The lead is 15. Way to knock down the jumper, Najimy George from inside the line to cut it to 13.
Well, George has that strong upper body, but get you leaning back, because if you don't play him, he's going to dribble drive to the rim. So you've got to give him a little respect off the drive, but that time the soft touch from the perimeter.
Ted Hotelling loves his competitive spirit, his humility, his drive. He's the one rotation player that returns to New Haven. He averaged 8 points per game, earned NE10 All-Rookie honors in the final year of D2, and credit to him for making it work with new teammates here in the early part of the preseason, now to opening day.
Well, New Haven as a whole has been very impressive tonight, and I'm sure Ted will tell you after this game that they're going to get better. They got better tonight no matter what happens.
Demery Jr. turns it over on the other end. Oh my goodness, Jalen Stewart. A complete swat.
But again, New Haven, good job getting back on defense, but ball.
Ice in his veins, ball for three.
You've got to get up on that left hand, force him off the bounce into some help. He's just such a good rhythm shooter.
And that sequence just woke up all of Gamble. Silas Demery Jr. coming over from Georgia.
Gets going. Stewart made some plays. Ross will make plays. Of course, Malachi Smith can do that. Ryba down low. Millender hit a shot. Even Karoma makes his presence felt around the basket.
Silas Demery Jr. with a straight-up defense, but it does not matter. Adelier with the finish over him.
Well, the one thing when you play New Haven, you're going to have to guard your yard, which means you're not going to be able to get a lot of help because they're so spaced on the court. You're going to have to guard your man one-on-one. And at times, that's been a challenge for UConn. For the most part, in the second half, they've done a good job, but New Haven is very good off the bounce.
Slick bounce pass, Demery Jr. to Ball, but could not cash it in. 16-point lead. 3 players for New Haven in double figures, including that man right there. It's Adelier. He is fouled and will go to the line. It's on Caravan. That's his third.
Kind of a bail out there. Adelier was off balance. Caravan came over for the help, and Adelier was falling down before Caravan came over, and Dan Hurley did not like that call.
Adelier 6 of 7 from the floor. All of his points have been around the basket. Some really tough takes. Division II transfer, University of Texas Permian Basin in the Lone Star Conference. Played at 2 other colleges, Adams State and Temple College. Welcome to Division I. The student section lets him hear it. Beyond the halfway point of this second half, number 4 Connecticut by 15 against a new in-state opponent in New Haven. Caravan bounce it, Ryba using that body at 7-1. He lost it, and Pasha poked it out of bounds.
Rybas will learn. Nice job on the roll to the basket. Caravan gave him a good bounce pass, but he's got to just power that up. He used that dribble down low, got himself in trouble.
Nice look to Stewart. Wishes he had that one back. Jalen Stewart will shoot 2. Steele commits the foul.
Time New Haven got caught napping a little bit, just watching the ball out of bounds instead of staying connected to Stewart. He just face cut and got right to the rim.
New Haven now in the 1-and-1 penalty. That means 1-and-1 for UConn. 9:20 to go.
It's one of the things as a coach that drives you crazy because people forget you have 5 defenders on the floor and they only have 4 offensive players because the guy taking out of bounds can't score.
Right.
So don't look at the out of bounds guy inbounding the ball. Pay attention to the offensive players on the floor.
Starting five on the floor for Dan Hurley. Pasha knocks it down.
Pasha is going to be a load in the Northeast Conference. That is for sure. He's got a nice soft touch, and UConn's not doubling him down there. And he is a big body and good footwork.
JUCO first team All-American, averaged 14 and 11 last year. Stewart unable to drain it from the pocket. They're staying here. Foul away from the ball on Steele. That's his fourth on the New Haven side. That means 1-1 for UConn.
Ted Hotan didn't like that call at all. Sure, I don't disagree. I don't agree. I agree with that. It's just
it's opening night, Tim.
Well, certainly you could call that foul at any moment, every possession in a Big East game. Two guys just battling for a rebound. Let it go.
Some of the points of emphasis this year in men's college basketball include reducing physicality.
Oh. You're too young, but that was the emphasis 20 years ago as well. That's always the emphasis.
It sounds like you've had that job before as head coach.
Wow. You know.
Wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Call him early in November. That's all right.
Pasha flips it back out. Adelier to Pasha, fires up a three. Steele, offensive rebound. As we come up on 8 minutes to go. It's a 16-point game in Stores.
It's a rare offensive rebound. As we said, New Haven's not going to go to the boards, but that was a deep one. And let's see what we have here.
To get on the same page with a new point guard room, not just Silas, but you factor in Malachi Smith, Alec Malinder. It is going to take some time. But Silas definitely has the look and fit of a UConn guard. Starting five out there for the Huskies, with the exception being Jaden Ross in for Jalen Stewart.
Back screen, down screen action, and they'll run the pick and roll in the middle of the floor.
Ryba rolled, no feed there for Demery Jr. Shot clock to 7 for Caravan. Ryba hands it off, Ross. It's an offensive foul on Ryba.
Obviously, they're running that little dribble handoff at the top and then the pick and roll, but Ryba did get himself set. A little bit of a moving screen. Tim Clockerty on the call on the sideline.
Jeffrey Clark and Vasily Malios, the rest of our crew today. Loaded day in the Big East, and great to have it back on ESPN for the first time since 2012. New Haven, Division I debut. Hanging in there with the 4th-ranked Huskies. Caravan's got 10 points tonight. Maneuvers. Pasha, solid defense. Caravan sticks with it.
Good job sticking with it. He found that angle down the middle of the floor. He's done a pretty good job on Alex Caravan, but you know, Alex Caravan is who he is. He's not going to force the issue. He's going to take what the defense gives him, make his teammates better on the offensive end when they tighten up on him on the perimeter.
It's hard to get him flustered. He's played so many games. He's started now 111 games for UConn in 112 appearances.
Well, the thing about Alex Caravan that you love is he bombs a three and knocks it down. Is that he plays so smooth out there. As we said, he's going to take what the defense gives you. He knows how to not only read the defense, but read screens as well.
We sing his praises in string music. Karoma drives. Almost got his own miss. Numbers for Najimy George and New Haven. And they call a foul on Demery Jr.
Well, Alex Caravan, watching him over the years, we know Dan Hurley is a perfectionist with his players, but nobody's tougher on Alex Karaban than himself. I mean, he is a perfectionist as a basketball player. Just can play pretty much any spot on the floor. He can post you up, he can dribble drive to the rim, he can make people better because he's a tremendous facilitator. And you see him reading that back screen, reading his defender, setting his feet, taking his time.
George halts a 7-0 UConn run. Malachi Smith checks in for Demery Jr. In the NEC preseason poll, New Haven, being its first year in the conference, was picked 10th out of 10, but there have been newcomers to the conference over the years from the NE10 to the NEC who do surprise, and this test tonight sort of proves that maybe New Haven will be better than folks think in that conference.
Well, at that level, the one thing that we've noticed over the years is pretty obvious is that there's a lot of turnover from year to year. You know, the NEC, the MACs of the world, the America East, sometimes the rosters get depleted by the larger schools where the lure of making bigger money in the NIL world takes you away from your original program. And so you don't really know from year to year what teams have or don't have. And see with my own eyes here, this team is going to be competitive in the NEC, to say the least.
Under 5 minutes to go. Closing time for the Huskies, leading by 20. Malachi Smith, one of those backcourt transfers. Tried to zip it back out there, instead a turnover. UConn now has 10, so does New Haven. Karoma comes out to help defensively, rotates back. Karaban at 6'8". Guard 6'9", Pasha. He's got nowhere to go. Karaban hangs in there. Pasha flips it in over him. A little shoulder shrug to celebrate.
Pasha is a good one-on-one player down low. And really a scouting report on him per se. I'm sure UConn doesn't like the double down low, but down the road, I'm sure he's going to get double because he is a tough out down low, one-on-one.
Solo ball nails UConn's 7 3-pointer.
Doesn't need much room at the top, just the elevation, the strength, the good positioning, the long arms, and the confidence. Solo ball.
Ball made 99 threes in 35 starts a year ago. He has 3 triples tonight.
Tonight, there's been good balance to their offense. I'm sure a lot of teaching moments. They missed a lot of easy shots around the rim. I'm sure they have to clean that up. But their defense has been pretty good. One-on-one ball defense, though, I'm sure that will be addressed because they had to defend one-on-one in space tonight, and at times New Haven got loose to the rim.
Given some of their misses, it is a bit stunning to see UConn is shooting 48% from the field, 8 steals, 5 block shots. Huskies led the nation last year in blocks per game, just over 6. They revamped their size. Reed unavailable tonight due to injury. But Ryba is making strides, no question there.
Well, obviously you got to get Reed back, and they will get him back. But in the meantime, you're going to take a positive out of it. Ryba's getting a lot of good quality minutes, which will lead to experience and confidence for a young player to play at this level. And, you know, Dan talked about it with us before the Boston College exhibition game. Is like, okay, he's going to get his feet wet. He's going to make some mistakes, and we understand that. But they really like him, and I can see why. Is he's understanding and learning how to carve out space around the basket. He's a big target. He's got good moves around the rim. He's not going to get doubled down there, so he's going to have a lot of opportunity because they have too many good offensive players around him. So he's going to have that opportunity. He's going to have some big nights for them when he does have that opportunity, as well as playing behind Reed once Reed comes back.
Originally from Germany, comes to stores from the Beulah School in Maryland. Top 25 prospect per ESPN 100. Throw a trap, Pasha lets a 3 fly, swish. 70-55, Pasha up to 17 points on 8 of 15 shooting.
Well, and the other part you have to look at, and you can't forget or ignore, is that it's only November 4th, and or November 3rd, excuse me. So it's really early, and the season starts earlier, the practice starts earlier, but certainly you've got to get yourself built up to play this tough schedule. I mean, BYU's coming in 2 weeks. It's early for them as well, but UConn's got so much depth that I think on certain nights, whoever's playing well defensively, who's ever making some shots, they'll go with that. And I think that's what Dan's been doing tonight. He's just kind of mixing and matching and pulling guys in and out of the lineup according to defensive errors.
Caravan, a heads-up play from the weak side. One of the returners, UConn, with 8 new players, 4 transfers, 4 freshmen. They do have 60% of their scoring back from last year. That's the most in the Big East. And among the leaders of all high major programs. As we go under 90 seconds, the lead 19. Ball the kick, Smith the 3. Caravans follow, rolls in.
Well,
Available on the ESPN app. Be sure to get in tune with that. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. I was really excited to hear and see, and I'm sure UConn fans will be as well, that UConn legend Emeka Okafor is going to join ESPN this year as an analyst.
Remember him as a player, unfortunately.
Now he's coming for your job.
We had to go against him many nights over the years back in the old days. What a nice, you know what a great player he was, but a great person, and by the way, one of the best academic careers as well. I believe he graduated in 3 years at UConn, so a smart, intelligent person who got into a business where you have to be smart and intelligent, I guess. Broadcast.
2004 National Player of the Year.
Oh, well, it's a great hire by ESPN. Just tremendous guy. I know he's still beloved here and gives back to the school as well.
He'll make his debut on November 18th. Monmouth at Syracuse, and UConn can run this out tonight. Step 1 of what they hope to be a dynasty. The national champions in 2 of the last 3 years, off to a 1-0 start. Number 4 UConn defeats New Haven 70.